racetracks and sunsets, as Dean Reynolds would say. Tonight, Thursday Night Thunder returns from the holiday break, and we're at Limaland Motorsports Park in Ohio for the 358s, the big block modifieds, and the pro late models. Later on tonight, you'll see the Xfinity Series take on Homestead Miami Speedway.
Just done a 13.42.
Well, we're excited for a good one, ladies and gentlemen. We're so glad you could join us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala with you. Well, let's get right into the action here for the evening. Qualifying is currently underway. And again, Happy New Year, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the holidays specifically. Well, here's what's happened in the past few weeks or so. A lot of fun stuff, to say the least. Isaac Salas and Brandon Templeton in our opening 2 races of the year are our winners. 15 points the advantage Salas has on Templeton at the moment. But it is still anyone's game, even with Logan Wentz, Sam Bachman, Trevor Giroux, all in the top 5. But this is a stacked car count. 32 technically, 33 officially. You want to know who the 33rd was? It was me. I was actually set to drive this one, and then I actually volunteered to broadcast this at the last second. Hope the guys at hope Brett and everyone at Ultimate Dirt TV is doing good, and if you're tuned in for the replay, hope you are doing well. That's why it says I got disqualified. So why don't we ignore that? We'll get right into things, and we are set to go for heat race number 1, our first heat race of the evening, brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies, quality racing bodies designed by Dan Chapman in the iRacing hotbed of Clarence, Iowa. All right, let's meet the field here and get you your starting lineup. Anthony Morano starts on pole position tonight in the number 32. Next to him, it's Butch Baker in the 97. Row number 2, Gavin Chatham in the 99, next to Trent Verstraeten in the 088. Row number 3, Brian Lawson in car number 9, next to the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39. Row number 4, rounding out the field, it's B-Temp, Brandon Templeton in the 31, and Bob DeGood in car number 7. Top 4 transfer to the show. Bottom 4 will have to go to a last chance showdown. We are set to go racing in heat race number 1. Glad you could join us for this one. We're green. Three wide, and Brandon Templeton, the first victim of the Tory tire. As they're still side by side for the top spot between Morano and Baker. Baker comes out with the edge. He leads the opening circuit. Verstraeten 3rd, Chatham 4th, Spangler trying to thread the needle in a 3-wide situation. But the top 5 drivers all under a blanket. This middle groove is the place to be. Track was set at 35% prior to taking the green flag. Attempt to keep the racing going with all the heats we have set. Gavin Chatham, though, quickest driver at the moment, is worth 3 wide for the 4th position. Spangler found an opening, takes the final transfer spot away from Gavin Chatham. You're on board with him. Here's how close it is between him as well as drivers next to him. Oh, Chatham had an issue. Fell all the way back. He actually went around. We'll get a replay of that in just a moment, but we do have 2 laps to go in Heat 1, coming to the white flag this time. Verstraeten and Morano racing for 2nd, but the Detroit Lions fan, whose team clinched an AFC playoffs berth. It's 3 wide. Morano set it deep. Off for 4 to the checkers. Baker takes the win. Final transfer spot to Brian Lawson. All right, let's get a quick look and show you what happened with Chatham. We're going to have to rewind this a little bit, so bear with us. Ooh, got on the 88. We just lost it. Tough break as we get you your lineup for heat race number 2. On the pole position, it's Harold Klump with the number 76. Next to him, Isaac Salas, slide jobs on the 5. Row number 2, Sam Bachman in the 107. And Kelly Wheeler in the 110. Row number 3, Jeff Barker, the Brew to Beats, in the 513. Next to Michael Vitale in the 213. Rounding out the field is Michael Vecchio in the 007. And the Professor, John Hine, in car 71. Green flag is out. Down the back chute, Salas comes out with the advantage. Klump tucks in line into second on the outside. Races on for third. Kelly Wheeler gets it over Michael Vitale. Wheeler underneath for that 2 spot. Bachman wants to go for fourth. Opening possibly for Vitale to take that final transfer spot on the top shelf, but the long way not working out yet. It may come in when this track starts to get slicker and slicker throughout the feature. We'll just have to see. Remember, it's top 4 that transfer into the show. Bottom 4 go down into the B main. Maybe even the C main. Quickest car on track is Sly Job himself. Isaac Salas with a 13.40, followed by Klump 13.44. 2 laps to go, though, in the heat. Now the quickest car on track is Wheeler at a 13.38. Vitale's still stuck in that final transfer spot. What can Bachman do to try and get that final spot for Vitale? Took a peek downstairs, but doesn't seem like it's coming in just well for him. Final lap underway, though, for heat race number 2, and it's Sly Job. Isaac Salas making his way off at turn number 4. Checkers are out. He'll start outside front row. Klump second. Vitale third. Kelly Wheeler finishes 4th. And so now we move on to heat race number 3. That second heat race, by the way, apologies as I was fixing a lot of stuff up, was brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports. Heat 3 brought to you by the newest member of the Coast to Coast family, The Ridge, Glen Ridge Motorsports Park, home of the Dirt Car 358s. Jason Coffey starts on pole position. Next to him, it's Jeff Sharp. Row number 2, Logan Wentz in the 118, and G.J. Boydell in the 014. Row number 3, Randall Dixon in car 041, and Randy Shreves in the 56. Rounding out the field, it's the mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75, and Andrew Hansley the 4th in the 40. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. Hello to Trevor, saying thanks for broadcasting at the last second. Sincerely appreciated. Hello to Mark, rooting for Isaac. That's Isaac Scramper watching. Thanks for tuning in. Top 4 transfer to the show. Green flag is out. Not a good start for Jason Coffey. Sharp, though, up the hill. Oh, contact between Coffey and Wentz. Both of them sideways. And Coffey takes the brunt end of it. He is spun into the middle of the infield. Meanwhile, as we focus up front, 1 lap complete. Jeff Sharp, the leader. G.J. Boydell second. Randy Shreves third. He's the biggest mover in all of that. Started 6th. He's up to the 3rd spot. And Randall Dixon rounding out the transfer spots. Bixler the first one out in 5th. Boydell, though, the quickest driver at the moment at a 13.45 as we reach the halfway point. 3 up and 3 down. And now it's Jeff Sharp. That's the quickest driver at a 13.40. You see Boydell right behind him. Different lines, obviously, but all the lines are fast as they can be. As we have 2 to go in this heat. Last time by, Sharp better by 0.02 of a second. Remember, fixed setups here on Thursday nights for the 358s. Monday nights is an open format. Final lap, though, underway in this heat. It's the driver of the Hoosier, number 28. Boydell chasing after him, but off of 4. Jeff Sharp takes the checkers. He wins heat number 3. Boydell, Shreves, and Dixon, your transfer spots. Bixler, Wentz, Hansley, the 4th, and Coffey will go down to the B main. All right, 4th heat race coming up, brought to you by Catalytic Recovery. And with that, here's your starting lineup. Trevor Giroux starts on pole position. Next to him, it's Dean Reynolds in the 79. Row number 2, it's Jason Butterfield in the 93. And next to him, it's Superman Kurt Schatzer in the 218. Row number 3, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Next to the 397 of Alex Pomelo. Rounding out the field, the Vanderbilt 90 of Jeff Fitzpatrick and the 2 of Hunter Carlson. First of 2 races that I'll be broadcasting this evening. We'll have Travis Piercefield taking over the second half of tonight's edition of Thursday Night Thunder. Top 4 transfer in, bottom 4 to the B main, as you know. Here we go for the green. Everyone's starting to get up to speed. Sideways, though, Butterfield in the 93 allows the top 3 to pull away. Giroux tried the slider. We're stacking them up. Butterfield, Dittmer, Fitzpatrick getting together. Affects them trying to make the feature. Meanwhile, Reynolds has the lead. Giroux trying to fight back on that low side, but the top shelf is coming in as Dino leads lap number 2. Schatzer now looks for a run underneath. He tucks it back in line. Pomelo, though, the quickest driver on the track at a 13:49. As they come off of turn number 4, we're halfway home. Pomelo leads a quarter of a second on Hunter Carlson for the final transfer spot. Dino, the quickest driver on track at a 13:43. Possibly 3 wide as Giroux went a little bit too high, nearly caught the cushion. Schatzer throws the slide job, the 2 nearly touch. Schatzer had to tuck it back in line as he's still in 3rd. Final lap is underway. But out in front, it's the driver of the Super Dirt Car Series number 79. Dean Reynolds takes the win in heat race number 4. Giroux, Schatzer, and Pomelo, your transfer drivers. Carlson, Fitzpatrick, Butterfield, and Dittmer will go down to the B main. Now we are under the lights where it is time for our B main. 16 drivers fighting for 8 spots. Top 8 make it into the show. Here's how they line up for our Gambler Motorsports B main. The high side banger, Patrick Spangler, starts on pole position. Next to him, it's Sam Bachman in the 107. The Steven Bixler, the mayor in the number 75, is next to Hunter Carlson in the 2. That's row number 2. Row 3, Bob DeGood in the 7, next to the Professor, John Hine. Row number 4, Logan Wentz in the 118, and Butters, Jason Butterfield. Rounding out the top 10, it's B-Temp, Brandon Templeton in the 31, next to the Brewerton Beast, and Jeff Barker. Row number 6, Andrew Hansley, the 4th in the 40, and the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. Row number 7, Gavin Chatham in the 99, and James Bond, Michael Vecchio in the 007. Rounding out the field, Jason Coffey in the 146, and Jeff Fitzpatrick in the 90. We'll go 1 extra lap before we take the green just to make sure the field's all bunched up. With a 16-car field, we definitely want to make sure everyone is all good to go. Green flag is out. We'll focus on the 8th place driver after lap 1, but we're winding them up already. 4 or 5 drivers involved. Final car that gets through amongst the top 8 is Brandon Dittmer. He's got a lot of space on Michael Vecchio in 9th. Now the top 7, they're all in. They're still trying to race for spots higher up on the grid. That may cost 1 driver possibly. Nearly cost Bob DeGood as he had some contact from Bixler. 3 wide for the 5th position. Hine up on the cushion. Oh my, we were nearly 4 wide off for 2. That was some tight stuff as Dittmer sends it in for a slide job. Last time by, Vecchio, the quicker driver, 13:57. That's everybody 2 by 2. Look out! Hine did it to good. Head onto the wall. Loses the wheel. And involved is Barker. Involved is Chatham. Final car that gets through is Jeff Barker. And now the leaders are going through lap traffic, I believe. Templeton gets through to 9th. If they were listening to me, they would have known that they were in the show and that there was a big gap over 9th that they could have played it safe. The top 4 at least know they're single file. Quickest driver, though, on track is that 31 of Templeton at 13:51. This is the guy, though, second in points coming on in, and he may not even make the darn feature. He may have to use this as a drop. Same with Logan Wentz, who is third in points coming in. And Logan is in the 11th position. Final lap is underway. Spangler and Bachman. I don't think Bachman's going to race him. Spangler sends it. He goes up the hill. Bachman's got a chance and steals it from the high side banger. Bachman wins the B-main. Spangler, Bixler, Carlson, Butterfield, Dittmer, Vecchio, Barker all in the show. Everyone else will have to practice for the big block session coming up after the 358s. And with that being said, we're going to step aside and take a break. When we come back, it's feature time. Stay with us at the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight when we talked about it.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
All right, we are having some technical difficulties here with our camera system, but I think we're good to go, everyone. Welcome back, everyone, on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Warm-ups just finished up with G.J. Boydell, the quickest. Well, let's meet the field here for our 30-lap feature. Here is your RSN Trackside starting lineup. On the pole, it is Butch Baker in the number 97. Next to him, Isaac Salas in the 5. It's a Venom front row lockout. Row number 2, Jeff Sharp, who is in car number 28. Next to Dino, Dean Reynolds in the 79. Row number 3, Anthony Morano in the 32. Next to Harold Klump in the 76. Row 4, G.J. Boydell in the 014 and Trevor Giroux in the 75. Pair of Canadians in row 4. Rounding out the top 10, Trent Verstraeten in the 88. Next to Michael Vitale in the 213. Row number 6, it's Randy Shreves, who is in the number 56. Having some technical difficulties. Randy Shreves in the 56 next to Kurt Schatzer in the 218. Then you got Kelly Wheeler and Brian Lawson. Randall Dixon, Alex Pomelo, Sam Bachman and Patrick Spangler, Hunter Carlson, as well as Steve Bixler, and rounding out your top 20, Jason Butterfield, Brandon Dittmer, row 11, then Michael Vecchio and Jeff Barker round out the field in the caboose. Here we go for this one. It's time for the Lucy Olson start. 30 laps around Limaland. We've got a fun one around the corner. Green flag is in the air. Let's go to work. Barker with the slide job on Salas, pulls out to the early lead. Jeff Sharp took a peek underneath, slide job for the 2 spot. Washes up the hill. Salas looks for an open lane as Baker leads the opening lap. Reynolds may have something possibly on Sharp, tries to go around the outside for the 3rd position as Butchie tries a slide job, open lane for Salas to go for the race lead. The Vellum teammates dueling it out with a Full Throttle Motorsports driver behind them. You're on board slide job. A full field of drivers here in this one. We'll take a look at who's got the best 5-lap average in a little bit. Baker, quickest driver on track, 13:60. Then watch out for the 10th place guy in Trent Verstraeten, a 13:53 last time by. And he's working the bottom side of the racetrack with nobody in front of him. He's losing a lot of time. Randy Schrade's racing him for the final spot in the top 10. Best race on tracks for 3rd still. Reynolds and Sharp. Morano trying to work with his teammate. You're on board with the 32. 5 laps of the books. Oh, Salas! Hit the Tory tire. He bullseyed it. And now he is back. And slide jobs Morano, who has to get off the gas. And now Salas goes back to the 4th spot. Sharp and Reynolds racing for P2 this time. Higher stakes on the line now at the moment. Take a look at the last few laps here at the moment. As you can see, everybody's still up to speed. Very close at the moment. Be tough when it comes to passing, though, that's for sure. Back to that race for 2nd position as Salas is now the quickest driver on track. Looks to take 3rd away from Sharp as they're side by side. Reynolds does have that 28 cleared, and Salas does take the 3rd spot. J. Boydell racing Anthony Morano now for the 5th position. They stay Hoosier to Hoosier. Boydell has to let off because of Jeff Sharp in front of him. Didn't want to turn him. A lot of momentum going his way. But how about, though, the Full Throttle Motorsports and Venom Racing drivers all work together. They have a huge alliance between each other. We see Dean a lot from time to time in the Venom chat, along with the Full Throttle chat, jumping back and forth between hoops. But Jeff Sharp just doesn't have anything to work that high side. Just hoping as well that the top 4 use up their tires potentially. We're 12 laps in the books of this one. You can see the gap there between 1st and 24th is 7 seconds. That's how tight all the laps are at the moment. Oh, here we go. Reynolds for the lead. Slide job. Dino. Baker counters it back. It looks like the Lions and the Vikings are battling for the lead. This is a rivalry matchup, folks. And now Salas may go 3 wide. Dino trying once again. This time he gets a hole right in front of Salas to keep the 2nd spot. So Dean tested it out. It worked a little bit as we're halfway home. Morano now wants the bottom step of the podium. As he tries underneath. The slide job won't even work without question. We're halfway home in this one. Reynolds hanging on for 2nd. Can Salas, though, try and get 3rd. Morano with a lot of yaw, though, through 3 and 4. And he edges out Salas, I believe, for the 3rd position. Biggest mover on the track if you're taking the score home, keeping score home, I should say. Patrick Spangler at 5 spots in the 13th position with a lot of traffic to go through. Look how crazy that is, folks. Everyone hugging the high side of the racetrack as you watch from one of our drones. An unintentional drone shot, I should say. It's Morano. How bad does he want it? That third position back to the average lap time of the last 5 laps. The advantage currently has Trevor Giroux barely out in front. As you see everything changing up here with 10 laps to go. Giroux's in that 7th position, so if we get a late race restart, may have to watch him closely perhaps. But there's 9 laps to go in this one. Morano and Reynolds, the teammates, going to work for second. Highside still with the momentum. Look how tight this is as you watch from the aerial shot. That's the top 8 drivers all under a blanket, separated by a second. 3 wide for 4th. Salas up top. Boydell was in the middle. This one's far from over with 7 to go. Morano edged out Reynolds, I think, for 2nd spot at the line. Can't even throw the slide job there. Dino, I think, edged out Morano, then back for the runner-up spot. 3 wide again for 4th. Sharp's the one on the bottom. 4 wide in the center of the corner this time. Reynolds wants the 2nd spot back. Morano edges him out with 5 laps to go. He tries the slider on Baker. No. It could come down to a slider from hell, possibly. 4 laps remaining in the 358 feature. And the cream is rising to the top here at Limaland. Baker's led nearly all the laps in this one. Salas still in 4th. He could be battling for the win right now if it weren't for hitting a Tory tire bullseye. 3 to go. Morano racing Baker. There's some contact between the teammates. 2 laps to go at Limaland. At the line, it's Baker on Morano. What is going to happen here? Spangler's around. Yellow flag is out. We are going to overtime. Dang it. I think everyone wanted to see that race go green to checkered. Single file restart coming up. Is that what you want if you're Butch Baker? I think it is. Here's a look at what happened. Oh, he caught the wall and then just had potato internet. Look at him. Around like a top, and Jeff Barker then careens into him. Let's look on board Spangler. You know, I think when he hit the wall, his wheel may have disconnected on him. That could have been the thing. Last 5 laps when it comes to average time. It's Giroux and Bachman that have the slight advantage at the moment. First of 2 green-white checkered attempts coming up. Here we go. Baker holding serve on Morano for right now. Has a nice gap. But Morano tries to send it in off at 2. Number 97 with the advantage. Morano wants the banking off for turn 4. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. Morano with a run low side of the corner. Can he get bite off for turn 2? Still side by side. Can Morano throw the slide job in? He sends it deep. Off for 4. Go Lions, go. Butch Baker takes the win. You can hear him roar in the number 97. The Venom Racing Machine is back on top. Reynolds 3rd, Salas 4th, Giroux rounds out the top 5. Your biggest mover of the race up 3 spots. Morano finishes 2nd. Folks, give it up for the 358 Modifieds as they put on one heck of a show. Just wait till you see how the big blocks take on Limaland. All right, gonna get Morano in here, and then we'll get going here with the top 3. And we'll begin here with Dean Reynolds here, our third place finisher. Alrighty, Dean, I got to begin with this. Did you want the caution flag to come out with 2 to go or no?
No, because I think I would have stayed second. I was a little bit faster than Butchie. I was going to do a slider on the last lap and see what would happen and, go for there. But, I got to give myself credit. I'm a Minnesota Viking fan, and I didn't take out a Detroit Lion car.
We mentioned that on the air. It was Lions versus Vikings all over again.
Oh, what a great race. I mean, we were all just thanking each other. I mean, Anthony to make that middle work. And, we could have put a sheet of paper between all of us and not one of us touched that whole race. And I mean, it is what it is. I tried that bomb on Butchie. I think I did a little too hard. And then he got me back. So I learned from that. And then I was going to do a bomb going in 3 and 4 in the last lap. But I was just going to do a 3/4 slider and see if I can get that grip in the middle. And but I never got a chance because of the yellow. And we were in the Discord and we said, Butchie, this is your race now with this yellow. You're going to get a lap and a half on this. And, just do what you need to do.
Absolutely. You guys should be proud for putting on that heck of a show. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Well, I gotta say thanks to the Full Throttle Motorsports guys. They're great guys, and you see how fast Anthony Morano is now, and Sam Bachman, Scotty Rion won the matinee today, so we're getting a little speed, and which is good. And I'm glad I finally got some of this bad luck small block stuff out of the way here, so that was good. Gotta thank the guys in Team Venom. Isaac, even though he finished 4th, he's helping us out. He's helping Butchie out, telling the lines to run. I mean, when you're in the same Discord, you gotta do what you gotta do. He was telling Butchie what Morano was doing, and and I don't look in the mirror when when I'm racing, so he was telling me where Morano was and stuff like that. And that's Isaac running 4th, and he wants to win too. But all those guys in Team Venom, they are really cool guys. Marty, thanks for stepping up for Brett. That's really cool. You wanted to race, but instead of having some fun, you were going to give us a telecast. So I got to thank you guys, and thank you, and the sponsorship for the 358s as well, Marty. So a lot of things has to go to you. Thanks to Coast for giving us a place to race, and just got to say congratulations to Butchie Baker on his win, and Anthony on a hard-fought second. Those guys, they definitely earned it, and we'll take this podium, and we'll go into the big blocks.
Great job today, man. Best of luck in the big blocks coming up.
Thanks, brother.
Absolutely. That's Dean Reynolds, our 3rd place finisher. We now move on to the 2nd place finisher, Anthony Morano. Anthony, walk me through the game plan there in that overtime session. You were hugging the bottom, then it looked like you were trying out the slide job.
I think that was the only thing I had for Butchie there was, I have work. That slider line was working. I got around Isaac and got around Dean with it. So it was doing something useful, but I don't think I would have been able to, I don't like throwing big slide jobs and try to clear the guy and hope you don't take his nose off because that usually ends bad for me. So I try not to do it. But hats off to Butch, man. He played defense right there going into 3, held the middle line so I couldn't slide up and try to steal any momentum away. So hats off, good run. I did everything I could.
Absolutely. What do you take away from this one? How much I should say instead, how much fun did you have with this race?
That was a blast running up there with Isaac and Dean going, each corner. There could have been more than enough room for a piece of paper between us. So I know it was close. So that was fun.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
My wife Sherry, my teammates over at Full Throttle Motorsports, Hi Mom Lens, Super Dirt Car Series, Swan Speed Shop, GripPack.com. Marty, you for popping up here and doing a broadcast. I know you're getting ready to race with us. Everybody at Coast to Coast for letting us come out.
Alrighty, we'll let you go. Great job, and best of luck at the big block.
Thanks, Marty.
Anthony Morano, our 2nd place finisher. Now we move on to your winner and Butch Baker. Butchie, you did it! Just like the Lions did in the division.
Right. See? I knew that paint scheme was going to do me good.
Oh, man. This one's got to feel good. What were you thinking in the car when the caution came out with 2 to go?
Actually, I was kind of relieved because Morano was right there, and I was doing everything that I could to hold him off, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to hold him off till the end, and I was like, all right, we're going to go single file. I can get a good jump, and then it'll give me room enough, and I think I can hold him off after that. And sure enough, I was able to.
He almost got you there going into turn 3.
Yeah, he did. But luck was on my side tonight, and we were able to pull her off.
Absolutely. How much fun did you have in this race?
Oh, I had so much fun. I knew Dean and Isaac were back there, and they were kind of, calling some things out for me, helping me out as well, and then it was just hit my marks, and try not to mess up, and for once I didn't make any mistakes.
Absolutely. What do you expect from this big block race coming up?
I expect more of the same. I think it's probably going to be high side again. There's probably going to be some guys that'll be able to run the bottom, but the ones that feel comfortable up high are going to make it work. And I think it's going to be more of the same. I almost think there might be a few more cautions. Especially if we get some of the newer guys that haven't run with us that much before. That might bring out a few more cautions because the big block's got so much more power. So. But we'll see.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Oh, Marty, I got to give a shout-out to you, buddy, for doing this tonight. I mean, you came through in the clutch, and if you wouldn't have done this, man, there'd been no record of my win. So I got to give a big shout-out to you, buddy. Appreciate you. And then got to thank Dean, the Super Dirt Car Series, all of my boys over at Venom Racing, everyone that supports me, and, we all try to support each other. And everyone at Coast to Coast, all the admins, everyone behind the scenes. And last but not least, I got to thank my wife who allows me to do this. And we should be having our baby here in the next any day now, actually.
Oh, boy. Baby watch, get ready.
There you go.
I enjoy it, man. Congratulations, and I got to say it because you're a Lions fan. Go Bills.
There you go. Hey, maybe we'll see each other in the playoffs.
We'll see. Bills got to get to the playoffs first. So.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, thank you, Marty. I appreciate it, man. This was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. That's Butch Baker, your winner here on the 358. With that being said, we're going to step aside and take a break. When we come back, the big blocks are ready to roar. Stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a
Bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
We are back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We're getting set to go for the beautiful big blocks, and should be a good one for sure. While we're at it, let's get a look at what's coming up here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network here for the next few days. First off, a reminder, our Thursday Night Thunder program is brought to you by our friends at Gambler Motorsports. Oh, I'm sorry. That was the summer side of things. Thursday Night Thunder is, that is brought to you by Gambler, I'm sorry. Small blocks brought to you by RS and Trackside. The big blocks are brought to you by Catalytic Recovery. Again, later tonight, we've got Pro Late Models at Limaland and Xfinity Series at Homestead. Tomorrow night, Friday Night Lights on Got Your 6 Racing Network with the small blocks, the Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprints. Excuse me. Monday night, we've got Monday Night Madness here for you with Open 358s and the sprint cars at the Eldora Speedway. Then Wednesday night, the Hometown Heroes taking on Lernerville with the 305s, 360s, and midgets. So as we come to watch big block qualifying, we'll watch Chris Alvey in the number 96. I don't know what the full car count looks like, but would have to assume it's pretty big. Isaac Salas to the top of the charts with a 12.739. Brandon Templeton takes her to the top now, 12.66. Randall Dixon goes third in the 0.11 and a 12.77. Slower lap. The 0.11. Gavin Chatham done with his lap. Pomelo just finished up his lap as he goes to third quick. Nice lap for the 397 at a 12.75. Here comes Randy Shreves off for turn number 4 in the 56. 12.85, lap 1 in 11th. Off the mark on lap number 2. Kelly Wheeler comes off turn 4. 12.82, lap 1 in 9th. Off by about a 10th on lap number 2. Trevor Giroux on lap number 1 as Sam Bachman moves up to 8th. Giroux 17th, 12:89. About to get Trent Verstraeten's first lap. As he is 10th, Giroux off of turn number 4. Is this a better lap? No, off the pace. Here comes Verstraeten off the final corner, slower in sector 1. Sector 2 is better. This is close. And I think he bettered it by a couple of thousandths or so. So it's B-Temp that's on. That's the quickest in qualifying, so he'll start 4th in Heat 1. A reminder, we invert the top 4 prior to taking the green. Alrighty, here's your starting lineup for Heat Race number 1. Randy Shreve starts on the pole position. Next to him, the Professor, John Hine, in the 71. Row number 2, it's Gavin Chatham in car number 99. Next to him, it's B-Temp, Brandon Templeton, the 31. Row number 3, the Brew to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Next to Pat Boyce in the 41. Rounding out the field is the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39. And Andrew Hansley, the 4th, in the number 40. Winner on pole for this one. Green lights are on. Here we go. A lot of contact in the middle of the pack. Oh, look out. Templeton catches Boyce and Randy Shreves and Andrew Hansley. 4th place driver is Shreves. Spangler underneath him. But we're side by side for the top spot. Gavin Chatham started 3rd. He goes to the point. And the leaders are already approaching lap traffic from the stack up that happened. Hine nearly catches Chatham, both of them sideways as Hine goes up the hill. Here comes Barker for P2. Hine tries to go longer way around the racetrack. Quickest driver on track at the moment is Patrick Spangler racing Shreves for the final transfer spot in 4th, and Shreves takes it back from Spangler. 2 laps to go, coming to the white flag this time by. 0.3 of a second, the advantage for Chatham on the Professor. Does Hine possibly go for the slider in turn 3? Does Chatham play defense? See what happens. Stay with the same lane. Chatham wins the heat. Hine 2nd, Barker 3rd, final spot to Randy Shreves. Spangler 5th, Boyce 6th. Hansley and Templeton both in the pits. So now we move on to heat race number 2. That heat, by the way, brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. We go to heat 2, brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports. Here's the starting lineup. Michael Vitale on the pole position. Next to him, Trent Verstraeten in the 88. Row number 2, Dean Reynolds in the 79. Next to Slide Job, Isaac Salas in the 5. Row number 2, Trevor Giroux in the 075. Next to Bond, James Bond. Michael Vecchio in the 007. Row number 4, Chris Alvey in the 96. Just waiting for Mark Gilbert to come in the 017, yet to make the call to grid. While we were at it, let us know who you're rooting for. Hello to Kelsey in chat rooting for Isaac. The Isaac Salas fan club watching tonight. And Dino starting from the rear. I believe from an EOL penalty. Everyone's got the engines revved up. And it is hammer time here. Green flag is out for heat race number 2. Vitale, not a lot of yaw in the corner, allows Verstraeten to clear the 213. Here comes Giroux, who could make it 3 wide for the top spot. Salas in the final transfer position in the 4th spot. Remember, he was 2nd quickest. This will be 3rd quickest in qualifying. Nope, it was 2nd quickest. as they've been 3 wide for a full circuit now. Verstraeten clears, nearly scrapes the wall. Salas makes contact with Vitale. And now could go for the lead, but he scrapes it. 2 by 2 off of turn number 4. Dean Reynolds the first one out, hoping that something happens to the front 4. Salas nearly goes around, makes contact with Verstraeten. He gets the bumper of Giroux with no yaw. 2 to go in this heat race. Oh, Giroux hit the Tory tire, but somehow finds a way to remain out in front. Verstraeten on the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. He can't get the lead yet, 1 lap to go. And now Reynolds all over the back of the number 213. You know who's going to win this heat race? It's Trevor Giroux. Who's going to get second at the line? Verstraeten edges out Salas. Vitale takes the final spot in. Now we go to heat race number 3, brought to you by Glenridge Motorsports Park. Here's the starting lineup. On the pole position, it's Stephen Goldner in car number 30. Next to him, it's Kelly Wheeler in the 110. Row number 2, Anthony Morano in the 32. Next to Alex Pomelo in the 397. Row 3, oh my, Harold Klump in the 76 next to Butch Baker in the 97. We've got Dolphins and Lions on row 3. Rounding out the field, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. I wonder if Harold Klump is trying to troll me right now before Sunday. Go Bills, by the way. AFC East on the line this weekend. Ah, Harold. Oh, Harold. All right, here we go for this one. Top 4 in the show. Here we go. Morano gets the jump over Kelly Wheeler as the field's in turn number 3. Pomelo back in the 4th position. And look at Klump go. Up 2 positions into the 3rd spot. Trying to clear that 397, which he finds a way to do. But Baker setting up Pomelo. Sideways he goes and collects Stephen Goldner, who had to start from the back. Now that puts Brandon Dittmer in the 83 as the final car in. Or the first one out, rather. He's trying to send it longer way around this racetrack, but he got really sideways, with the car just about bottomed out from the looks of it. Kelly Wheeler in second. He looks underneath Morano for the top spot. Quickest car on track, in case anyone's wondering, it's the 7th place driver of Goldner. Final lap underway. Who's starting from the inside of row number 2? Is it Morano or Wheeler? Morano with the edge by about 2 car lengths. Protects the bottom off for 4, the full throttle 32 with the win. Wheeler, Klump, and Pomelo in. Baker, Goldner, and Dittmer will race in the B main. All right, now we move on to heat race number 4, brought to you by Catalytic Recovery. Here's the lineup. Jeff Sharp starts on the pole position. Next to him, it's Logan Wentz in the 118. Row number 2, Sam Bachman in the 107, and he's next to Randall Dixon in the 011. Row number 3, Brian Lawson in car number 9, next to Jason Butterfield in the 93. Rounding out the field, it's Jason Coffey in car 146. Winner starts outside row number 2. Sharp trying to clear off at 2, but he cannot. Stays door to door with Wentz. Bachman 3rd, Dixon 4th off the corner. Wentz leads lap 1. Wentz had a challenger in the 107 of Bachman, who's the quickest driver on the track, hugging that bottom line. So we're halfway home. Oh! Whoa! Jason Butterfield! This man's like Herbie riding the fence. The wild ride puts him back to 7th and likely damaged the belly panel of that ride. Coming to the white flag this time by top 4 still Sharp, Wentz, Bachman, Dixon. As the race for 3rd is on between Dixon and Bachman, the 107 takes it. But we're side by side for the lead. Sharp or Wentz? Who wins heat race number 4? Wentz with the mother of all slide jobs. It's not going to work though. Sharp with the win. Gets him by 0.04 of a second. Bachman and Dixon are in. Now it is time for the B main. Our car count tonight, 30 drivers for the big blocks. B main brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. Here's your starting lineup. I think this is the second time he's on the pole in a B main tonight. The high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 79 is next to Dino. Dean Reynolds in the 79. Row 2, Butch Baker in the 97 next to Brian Lawson in the 9, a pair of Venom teammates. Row number 3, Pat Boyce in the 41 next to James Bond, Michael Vecchio in the 007. Row number 4, Stephen Goldner in the 30 next to Jason Coffey in the 146. Rounded out the top 10 in this B main, Andrew Hansley the 4th in the number 40 next to Chris Alvey in the 96. Row 6, Brandon Dittmer, the Spider Monkeys in the 83. Next to Butters, Jason Butterfield in the 93. Rounding out the field, B-Temp, Brandon Templeton in the number 31. Go one more lap until we take the green flag. Here we go. Focused on the 8th place driver after lap number 1. Spangler with the lead off of turn 2. Reynolds is 2nd. Baker and Lawson race for the 3rd spot. 3 wide for 5th behind them. Goldner signing in underneath. Final transfer spot currently belongs to Jason Coffey in the 146. First car out is Hansley the 4th in the number 40. And look at Brandon Templeton behind him, trying to get underneath them. He's back in 9th and closing on him fast. And now he's side by side with that 146 off of 2. Coffey edges out Templeton to the line. Now they catch up to a gaggle of cars. That's Stephen Goldner in the 7th spot, fighting for his money, but Templeton catches the Uke tire, and that puts Coffey back into 8th. And Goldner goes around to the 30. Oh my goodness. One of the best sprint car drivers this season, currently out in the 13th spot. Coffey now in the final transfer spot. Templeton runs over a tire. He's still in it though in 7th. But now can Brandon Dittmer get the 146 is the question. 2 laps to go in this B main. Dittmer with the preferred line underneath, tries the slider on Coffey. Tried it late in the going. Final lap though, underway. Patrick Spangler leading. Dittmer trying a different line, and Templeton to the wall, Coffey contact. Around though goes Butterfield. And the final spot is Brandon Dittmer off of 4. You gotta be kidding me. Edson going up and over. I don't know what the heck just happened. That was some wild stuff, though, to say the least. Coffey got Butterfield. Dittmer had the momentum, says goodbye, and steals the final transfer spot. What a heist. Let's go to break. When we come back, it's our feature. Stay with us, the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Welcome back to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Warm-up's almost done here. Brandon Templeton, your quickest driver at the moment, with a 12.85. Don't forget, later on tonight, we have the late models at Limaland and the Xfinity Series at Homestead Miami Speedway. Travis Piercefield will have the call for all of that. You don't want to miss out on that. As I say that, Isaac Salas has taken the number 5 ride to the top of the standings. All right, here we go. We're set to go racing. Let's meet the field and give you your RSN trackside starting lineup. On the pole position, it's Gavin Chatham in car number 99. Next to him, it's Trevor Giroux in the 075. Row number 2, Anthony Morano in the 32. Next to Jeff Sharp in car 28. Row number 3, the Professor John Hine in the 71. Next to Trent Verstraeten in the 088. Row number 4, Kelly Wheeler in the 110 and Logan Wentz in the 118. Rounded out the top 10, the Brewer to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513 and Isaac Salas in the 5. Row 6, Harold Klump in the 76 next to Sam Bachman in the 107. Row number 7, Randy Shreves in the 56 next to Michael Vitale in the 213. And row 8, Alex Pomelo in the 397 and Randall Dixon in the 011. Rounded out the field, Patrick Spangler, Dean Reynolds, row 9, Brian Lawson, Butch Baker, row 10. Michael Vecchio, Pat Boyce, row 11. Brandon Templeton and Brandon Dittmer, row number 12. Let's know your pick to win in the chat. 30 laps, the feature. As we get set to go for the Lucy Olson start. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Chatham and Giroux bring us to green. It's showtime! Into turn number 3, Gavin Chatham with the advantage. Giroux and Morano racing for the second spot. Advantage of the 75 up on the outside. Remember, we told you earlier in the 358 was the quickest amongst a 5-lap average. Could he be a threat in this one? Jeff Sharp in that 4th position. John Hine rounding out the top 10. 3 wide behind them for about the 6th spot. Trent Verstraeten, Isaac Salas, and Kelly Wheeler. Chatham, meanwhile, quickest driver on the track at 13.06. Answered back by Templeton. Trouble with Patrick Spangler. Around in 2. No caution, though. We stay under the green flag. Front 5 drivers all working the outside. First driver underneath that 88 is John Hine for that 5th position. 3 wide behind them with Wheeler in the middle and Jeff Barker down low. All tight, close quarters racing at the moment. Salas up in that 6th spot, up 4 positions, starting in 10th, your biggest mover of the race. Man, that is tight between Logan Wentz and John Hine. Nearly turned each other around, and Wentz takes away 7th. Caution is out. Brandon Templeton, the 31. He was around in turn number 2, nearly the same spot where Spangler had spun out in. Here's a look at what happened to the 31. Big stack up. Lawson and Vecchio behind him. Ooh, slight contact from Boyce and just sent him sideways. Doing a 270, keeping her going. While we're at it, a look at your best lap times amongst 5-lap averages at the moment. And the quickest driver on track amongst the field is currently Gavin Chatham, followed by Trevor Giroux. And there is the man that is currently at the moment. Can be second at the moment. Double file restart coming up. Chatham selects the outside line for this restart. Watch this restart from the Chapman Racing drone. Still side by side off for 2. Chatham able to hold serve. Morano and Sharp racing for that 3rd position. Decides to go from the 1st groove to the 2nd groove. And Sharp has the 3rd spot. Now looks for 2nd. Salas has to check up to avoid hitting the number 28. It looks like a Delaware double file restart with Chatham commanding the troops at bay. Morano nearly clips the 5 of Salas. For Stratton has to get on the binders to avoid hitting the 32, and it stacks the field up. Wheeler washes up the track briefly. Hines still in that 8th spot. Wheeler back in 9th. Here we go. Giroux, only guy downstairs looking for the lead. Everyone else has decided to keep their car hooked on the cushion, but the caution flag is out. Caution is waived, and we've got a bunch of them that went around. Randy Shreves, Brian Lawson, Brandon Dittmer from the looks of it. Here's a look on a replay. Just got sideways off the 11. There you see Lawson and Dittmer all involved in the accident. This time, Chatham selects the inside line. Interesting decision. May have seen what Giroux was doing on the low line, may have worked, but this time he has Jeff Sharp to his outside. Here they come back to the green flag. 10 laps complete. Make his way back up to the outside, which he does. Chatham holds serve. Let's see if Giroux can get that 2nd position back from Sharp. Nearly 3 wide with Morano in the middle in the 75. I don't think was able to get 2nd at the stripe, but he pulled up to Chatham's door off of turn 2 looking for bite, but it just couldn't work on his end. Salas trying to give Sharp a little bump, but look how crammed this is at the moment. Got Morano underneath Salas for the 4th position off of 4. Chatham's glad that he's pulled away from this one as the best car lengths amongst anyone. Everybody else looks like we're doing pace laps at speeds of 100 miles an hour. Verstraeten checks up a bunch of the field. Hang on, Dean Reynolds. Everybody's still stacking up further back. And everybody, nope, finding a way to keep it straight somehow. Biggest loser in all that, I think, was Templeton, if not Spangler. Here goes Salas with a slide job for 2nd. Couldn't take it away there just yet as we are past the halfway mark. And Salas is closing in fast. Pull up the lap times, the 5-lap averages. Who's the better driver from the looks of it? It's still Chatham. But look at, though, who is running virtually identical times. Salas is closing in pretty fast. So watch that closely with 11 laps to go. And Salas is the better car on 5-lap averages right now than Gavin Chatham. Sharp is 3rd. Morano and Giroux racing for the 4th position. 10 laps remain. Salas all over the bumper of Gavin Chatham. You've got company. High, wide, and handsome from Salas up for 4. They're still door to door. Chatham, though, edges out Salas in the line. Now a lot of yaw off of 2. Advantage Chatham for now. But if Salas can drive the cushion perfectly off of turn 4, he'll take the lead, which he does with 8 laps to go. From 10th to the top spot is slide job. And I believe is our first lead change of the day, which it is. 7 laps remain. Here's Morano and Giroux for the 4th position. Pull up those 5-lap averages again. Nope, hold the thought. Trouble. Dean Reynolds, Michael Vitale. A junkyard in turn 2. Look at what happened. Oh my goodness, he just got set into big time. That was the 213 of Michael Vitale that caught him. That's a tough break. So late race restart coming up here with about 5 laps to go. I want to go back to those 5-lap averages and show them to you. Look at the gap there between Salas and Chatham. And then the second best, I want to say, is Jeff Sharp in that 28, who looks to be better than Chatham at the moment. Single file restart as we have under 10 laps to go. It's 6 laps remaining. Salas holds serve. Jeff Sharp low for second. The high side's the place to be, as we saw Salas. Be tough though for Chatham and Sharp to look for options, especially this late in the race. Got to go with your best line. Chatham able to clear. Sharp hanging on to a podium spot. Giroux in that 75. Watching second and third race. Could he be a factor possibly in the end? 3 laps to go. Oh, but he caught the wall. He was rim riding on the cushion really well. But now Morano becomes a factor in that 5th spot. 2 laps to go. This race for second. Far from over. Giroux in the wall once again. Off of turn number 4. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go for Isaac Salas of the Venom Racing Super Dirt Car Series. Magnum Race Design. Number 9 making his way through 3 and 4. A run TC Shep would be proud of. Isaac Salas with the win at Limaland. Chatham second. Giroux third. Sharp fourth. Morano fifth. Your biggest mover of the race is Templeton from 23rd to 11th. Top 3 pose for a podium. Excuse me. Gotta admit, that was a fun race to watch. There you see the top 10 on your screen. I think Salas is about to do either a victory lap or light some smoke up for us. Uh-oh. Evan Butch, you're just having some fun. Now that's how you do burnout on the asphalt. Get 11th through 20th. 22 drivers finishing on the lead lap, or check that, 21 drivers. So Templeton was not the biggest mover of the race, which means Salas is your biggest mover. I believe Templeton was hit with a penalty at the end. Top 3 are with us. Let's begin with our 3rd place finisher in Trevor Giroux. Trevor, we saw you working the high side at the end. Without question, that was the place to be. Yeah. Walk me through your final laps, though, from your perspective.
Well, I was stuck on the bottom for most of the race, kind of making it work, and then we had that caution come out with, I don't know, 6 or 7 to go, something like that, and then I think we went single file, so that kind of helped me there, and I just stuck it to the top and tried to keep it out of the wall. It was getting thin up there, though, but it was I felt like I was spinning too much on the bottom, and so when I went to the top, I think I was using a little too much throttle there and spinning on exit too. So, but overall, yeah, it was a good race. I'm happy with the podium.
We were looking at analytics earlier on the broadcast. You had one of the better 5-lap averages in the race. Were you hoping for a long run to possibly develop?
I don't know. Honestly, like I was pretty content with whatever was gonna happen, like a yellow, or if we would have stayed green. I was okay with that. I just wanted to get off the bottom. I couldn't make it work as well as some of these other guys there. But I think I was happier with the yellow, honestly, than I would if it went green flag, because I think Anthony was behind me. He was gonna eventually get a run on me and pass me, and he's fast, so it would have been hard to get back by him. But yeah, once we got that yellow and I got the start on the top there, I just made sure I didn't make no mistakes. And so yeah, I definitely wanted to see that yellow over a green flag.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
I just want to give shout outs to my buddy Trent, my buddy Caleb as well, Patrick Spangler as well. He was chilling in the Discord with us, and my wife, or my soon-to-be wife, my mom and dad. Also want to give a shout out to you, Marty, for stepping up and doing the broadcast. I don't know if you saw my comment in the broadcast, but I greatly appreciate it.
Definitely appreciate it so much, man. We'll let you go. Great job, and best of luck. What's coming up for next for you?
Thank you very much.
That's Trevor Giroux, our third-place finisher. Let's get to our second-place finisher in Gavin Chatham. Gavin, tough break there for you. What happened with your car late in the going, or was just Salas the much better driver late in it?
Isaac's good, man. Isaac's very good with these big blocks and these 358s, and it's definitely not my forte. I'm middle of the road, I'd say, if we're doing a true talent assessment on modifieds. I thought I was running a good pace in the middle of the racetrack there, and I thought I was doing okay, and Isaac just had the better line. He's definitely better at these than me, and he's a good race car driver, and he's smooth and fast, and he knows what he needs to do to win. And I thought I was pretty comfortable in the middle. I thought that was going to be the place to go. I was making good lap times, good speed, and obviously I say it wasn't the right call, and then he got by me. I jumped to the top, and I didn't like the top. And on that restart, I ran the middle, and I think I was running lap times similar to him again. So I probably should have stuck in the middle and maybe stepped up the pace a little bit more and ran better lap times. But other than that, I'll take it. Definitely second place, and in the big blocks was definitely a good run for us. We'll take it for sure.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
I just want to thank you guys thank you, Marty, for putting on an awesome broadcast. I want to thank Coast to Coast, all the sponsors, everybody who puts on this league, and everybody behind the scenes that allows us to come out here and race and put on good races like this. I just want to thank Chatham Motorsports, Mike Schick Motorsport Design, Velocity Race Design, Miller Time Motorsports, and Northeast Outlawed Motorsports. Thank you all the sponsors, all the help and support. I just want to thank the fans for coming out and watching the races. I hope we put on a good show for you all each week. And I just want to thank my fans as well for coming out and supporting me and watching me race.
All righty, we'll let you go. Great job tonight, and best of luck in what's next.
All right, thanks, Marty. The late models, so we'll see. I'm even worse at those than the modified. So
you'll probably be joining me in the back of the field then.
Sounds like a plan, man.
All right, Gavin Chatham, our second place finisher. Now we go to your winner, Isaac Salas, who went from hitting a Tory tire hard in the 358. I had to say it.
Hey now, relax.
To going to victory lane in the big blocks. Well done, man. Where did your car come in well late in the going?
3 and 4. I was smoking in 3 and 4, man. 1 and 2, it was difficult. You could just kind of baby it through the top of 1 and 2, though. But 3 and 4 was so much grip up top, and I don't really know why people weren't running up there, but I'm not going to say no to it.
Was it also as well, obviously starting from mid-pack, it's a tough challenge, but was it also when you were able to hit your throttle and brake points like in qualifying, where you were able to close in a lot?
Yeah, it was definitely that. I knew that I also had to play a little bit of defense through that middle portion there. You don't want guys like Morano to kind of be able to hit. They know how much room they need to slide up in front of somebody through the corner. And so my goal there was to kind of almost not be up top and kind of close up a lot of that room for them to slide in there. And yeah, that's kind of how I got a lot of the track position off the start. Got a lucky to be up top on one of those restarts. And but yeah, man, it was fun. It was very technical. technical race tonight, and by the end of it, my heart was pounding probably just as hard as the 358 race, to be honest with you.
What are you expecting for this late model race coming up?
You want my honest opinion?
Yes.
Probably a battle between Brandon Templeton and Anthony Morano, and we're not going to talk about me. We don't want to make any suggestions of how good or bad I'm going to do here. So,
who do you want to give shout-outs to?
big shout out to all those boys over at Venom Racing. Obviously, Butchie got I think his first Thursday night win. That's not a week 13, so that's it's pretty awesome to kind of sweep the modifieds for Venom Racing here. Thank you to you, man. I know that you were gonna get to race tonight, and you were super excited. But
I made you the late model
stepping
race
up.
coming up. Yeah.
There you go. Well, hey, that's fine by me. I'm here for it. Let's do it to it. But thank you to you. Thank you to Dean, the Super Dirt Car Series, for their support. Top Notch Trucking with my Gramps. That's always huge. So I thank you, Gramps. Magnum Race Designs, got your 6 Racing Network. RSN Trackside with you, buddy. Thank you for the sponsor in the 358s, by the way. Mission 22, everything they do for our veterans, man. Everybody here in Coast to Coast, it's fun to see the new faces coming around. Yeah, other than that, thanks to my family. I know Gramps and Mom are watching. Thanks to my girlfriend Kelsey for watching. And other than that, just thanks to all my friends and family that support me. Other than them.
Alrighty, man. Well, we'll let you go. Congratulations. Great win.
Awesome. Thank you, buddy.
Isaac Salas, your winner, and he is in victory lane. Well, we're going to bring in Travis Piercefield, who is coming up next here with the late models at Limaland, the Xfinity race at Homestead. Travis, we should be in for an interesting one. Isaac did say, though, it could be a battle between B-Temp and Morano, possibly.
Well, Salas normally, I like to say, sandbags going into the late models and then the asphalt. So we know Isaac will look to go for another sweep like he did a few weeks ago. But it looks like we've got about 18, 20 late models right now. So it should be a good pro late model race here at Limaland coming up next.
Could be 21 possibly. We'll see if I decide to race. And then finally, the Xfinity Series coming on up at Homestead Miami Speedway. Always a treat to watch them run there.
Always a good race at Homestead Miami, which with that series, a lot of long green flag runs. But when those cautions do come, it normally can shake up things, especially up towards the front. So it should be another good ending to our Thursday night here on the Coast to Coast Racing League.
Alrighty. Well, bear with us here for a couple seconds. You're going to see some black. Travis, are you ready to go? Get ready for your stream?
I am ready to go.
All right, perfect. We'll be right back in about 5 seconds, and then you'll see an advertisement from Travis. Stay with us, the Coast to Coast Racing.